Hi everybody, I want to make a quick video to show you how to make a multi-line scatter plot from the data we collected. So here's a data table. The thing about data tables is it's organized by trial, so each trial has its own line, which is great for putting it together, but you need to compact it more if you're going to make a multi-line scatter plot. So I'm going to go over to the right of the data and basically group things together by the different categories. So we have number of blocks, elastic with no weight, elastic weight on car A, elastic car B has the weight, then the inelastic no weight condition, then inelastic car A, and finally inelastic car B. Each of these is basically a condition of the experiment. So it's not arranged by trials, but rather how the car was run. So first of all, each trial was run twice. Each of these conditions was run twice. So I'm going to bold that, or maybe I'm not going to bold it. So I'm making 2 for 1 block, 2 trials for 2 blocks, and 2 trials for 3 blocks. And then each one of these conditions was run twice. There you go, bold that up. So now I'm going to enter the data looking to the trials. So I look over here, I find elastic. So rows 2 and 3, elastic, 0 weight on either one. So I'll copy those 2 data points, which are 46 and 43, and I'll paste them in. And then I'll continue transporting the data over to the condensed data table. So this is weight on car B, because that's the way this data was taken. Car B weighted trials happened before car A, it looked like. So now this is 200 grams on car A for elastic and 1 block. Grab those 2 data points and put them in. So you're just going to continue doing this for all the different data points. I'll speed this up. So there you go. There's everything from the original trials put into condensed form. It's still 36 trials. It's just a little bit more graph friendly. So you're selecting just everything underneath the title headers and then hitting the chart button and picking scatter plot. Then we're going to customize it in a few ways. You already have the points, so we're going to go to series. Series are basically the different columns, and we'll put data labels on them, and we'll put a trend line on each of them. We'll get back to r squared later, but we will add that. So over here on the left side, the vertical column, the vertical axis rather, it needs a title. So we have numbers there, but we need to put a title there. So those numbers represent, as you know, we'll select vertical title axis and put distance, parentheses, centimeters. We look down at the bottom, there was no 1.5 or 2.5 blocks. So we have to go down to the very bottom of Customize where there's grid lines and ticks. And on the horizontal axis, we'll go to not that one, but above it, the major spacing type. And there's really only one step. So we'll select steps and put 1. 1, enter, and boom. Now you have just 1 block, 2 blocks, and 3 blocks. No 0.5. Okay. Close that up. Go to chart and axis titles, and now we want to give the entire chart a kind of easier to digest name than what it had. So we're going to just call this the comparison of collisions sorted by 3 things: type, weight, and height. If I can spell. There we go. So we have it titled. The one thing we're going to do now is, last thing, go back to series. Let's not forget to go to the very bottom and add in those r² values. So we have, it's kind of jammed up, but when we move it to, we're going to copy it now. So click it, and in the upper right corner you get those 3 dots. Select it, go down and say copy chart. And we're going to add a sheet, and we're just going to call this one our condensed table, data table, and graph. So we'll copy this in. Doesn't really matter where, we can move it around. And you can also make it bigger. So there's a little more breathing room for the things in the key on the right. And in the spirit of putting data, as much data as we can in one place, we'll go and grab this data. It'll look like that eventually. I sort of lost myself in my own spreadsheet. So this isn't exactly the one, but it's the same data. So you're just going to copy this and then paste it up above the graph. So we'll figure out a place here. I think ultimately it's best if you put it up in the upper left corner. And then just move the graph underneath it. Oh, I'm also going to do some alternating colors, which is in the format menu. That makes it really nice in terms of its visibility. You can pick a color and move the chart into position underneath it. So once that's all in position and you get them where you want, go up to the File menu. And from there, you'll click File. Go down to Print, and you want to make sure the formatting has grid lines turned off. That's on, that's off. So you want them off so they're not in the background. It looks nice and clean. So you'll say Save to PDF in the destination, and I'm on a Mac, so I found it worked better if I used Print using System Dialog, and instead of picking a printer, I go to the lower left and say Save as PDF. If you're on a Chromebook, you probably won't have these problems. And okay, we'll replace what's there. Go down, check it out, see how it looks. There's the PDF. Boom. Looks really nice, really clean. And then you can just add this as a page in your lab report. That's it. I hope this was really helpful.